right, welcome into another edition of the 2025 MLB Draft Spotlight Show, Beaver Edition. Mr. Trent Caraway, Oregon State third baseman. What's up, man?
Going on, Joe? Thanks for having me on.
Absolutely. Dude, I've been looking forward to this. I was talking to you before we started recording. Been looking forward to this since you were in high school. I just flat out ran out of time in 2023. Good to have you on the show, dude. How's life? And let's start with this. Trent Caraway, man. Who are you on the field? Who are you off the field? What are your best tools?
Yeah, grew up in Southern California, surfer boy. Grew up surfing my whole life, fishing, being outdoors, playing baseball too on the side with that, especially growing up. And then, I gained a passion for baseball as I got older, and then I got really into it, competitive. Went from there with baseball, and then ended up in Oregon State, and yeah. So, yeah.
How have you blossomed since you arrived at Oregon State? Because, I mean, you were already, and we'll talk about this, you were already a primo prospect coming out of high school. Like, how have you grown? How's your game on the field grown?
I would just say consistency. Because playing a lot more baseball now, I just kind of got to be more dialed in with my approach about how I'm going about things, like preparation, and just keeping my body right to stay healthy and play a whole season. So it's a little different than high school.
Yeah.
Um, but yeah, just a crap ton more reps, a lot more ground balls, a lot more hitting. So
Well, talk to me about keeping your body right, because that's one thing I certainly wanted to hit on. Your freshman campaign, obviously not what you wanted it to be, very abbreviated. Some terrible weather and a broken hamate bone, if I'm not mistaken. Missed, what? You missed 80% of your freshman year. Kind of talk to me through that injury and talk to me through coming back and recovering and patience and everything that comes with it.
yeah, it was my middle finger. I broke my middle finger
Hmm.
trying to drag bunt against Utah. So
Nice.
yeah, yeah, it was like I was trying to like just lay down a little drag, bring the third baseman in, just show something off. Dude ran a heater in at like 92, couldn't get out of the way and just busted my finger. Ended up finishing the at bat, just striking out and in pain. Um,
Did you know?
so yeah,
Did you know right
so
away it
yeah,
was broken?
yeah. It was the first pitch of the at bat, and then I just tried finishing the at bat because I was like, all right, I'm probably done for the rest of the year. And that happened, and then yeah, I did went through surgery. I got like pins in it. Had to do a long rehab process. But yeah, it was definitely a wake up call for me. I was like, all right, well, I have nothing else to do. I can lock in on the things I can control. With sleep, diet, just mentally being outside more, just being more active, taking care of myself more. And then, yeah, I broke it and I was like, all right, I have nothing else to do. So I'm going to just work my ass off and just be there for the guys. So
Yeah.
that's kind of what I did. And I feel like that's why I kind of transformed like the way I may look on the field now in a uniform. So
Yeah, no, you've leaned out. You look a lot more athletic, that's for sure. I'm assuming, despite your new fleet-footedness, Mitch Canham isn't going to have you putting down bunts this year.
yeah, no, I don't even bunt in practice.
Yeah, man.
He's
But
like,
hey, no, go
we
ahead.
do we do bunt practice and I just like field balls and that's about it. He's like
Um,
he's
but
like you
I
don't
mean,
need to do that.
no, I don't think that's on the menu for you this year. But it's what's important is it didn't end your year, right? Like
Yeah.
it ended your Oregon State campaign, but you got to go out to the Cape, you got to perform. You performed at a really high level, answered some questions that people had coming off of what 12 games, maybe not even 12 games at Oregon State. Talk to me about your experience on the Cape, man, and what sort of value that proved to you.
Yeah. I think I went into it being like, all right, I didn't get to play the whole year. I kind of have a chip on the shoulder. And while I was hurt, I was working really hard and I was like, all right, well, I'm gonna go out there and just show off what I can do. Um, and it's my finger still wasn't fully right in the Cape either. It was just since like this is my draft year, it was kind of like, all right, I kind of got to go out and play, and I need to play the games anyway. So it's like, let's get out there. But um, yeah, I prepared really hard for it, and then I got out there and started off with a bang. My first at bat hit a home run, and then I was just off to the races there. And yeah, I mean, the Cape was that was probably the most fun thing I've done so far in my career. I mean, because I mean, every day you're playing baseball, you're playing at like a backyard baseball type of field. Not the best conditions all the time. You may be tired one day, you may be feeling really good one day, and you're probably facing a dude who's throwing 95 with a banger. So you got to find a way and just get the job done. And that's what I really liked about the Cape. I learned a lot about myself just like through the game, just not playing highs or lows, just staying even keeled and just trusting the process. So
Yeah. I've never asked anyone this question, but one thing that I don't think gets enough publicity is the wooden bats on the Cape. Now, it does in the scouting community for sure, but um, college baseball right now, guys are just swinging like nuclear trampolines. It's insane the exit velos that are coming off of the bats in the college game. What sort of benefit or what can you learn as an offensive player on the Cape using a wooden bat? Like, what sort of adjustments do you need to make?
yeah, I mean, I would definitely say pitch selection. I feel like me personally, anyway, if I have a wood bat in my hands, I really got to be selective on what I'm swinging at in the zone. Just to get my best swing off and best result, which I feel like is a little different compared to a metal bat because it's like you can like half swing on a ball and still hit a ball 105 with a metal bat and get a decent result, but you can't really do that with a wood bat. So you kind of have to be a little more locked in on what you're trying to do. So I would say that's the main difference. And I honestly like wood way more than metal. I feel like because I'm kind of a feelsy rhythmic hitter. I don't know. I just have always liked wood a lot more. So
Your offensive game, and to a lesser extent, your defensive game. Is there anybody that you looked up to growing up in terms of like shortstops or third baseman that you saw a little bit of yourself in that player?
yeah, I would say like Tula. Definitely just bigger right-handed bat, good arm, pretty athletic. So I'd say probably him, Matt Chapman. Um, yeah, those are probably the main two. And I like watching Manny Ramirez get him out. I just like the way he swings it. So
Yeah, absolute
yeah,
scouting legend, Manny. Hey, I want to go back to high school really quick. I don't know if this meant anything to you at the time, but you're playing at J Sarah. You come in from Santa Margarita. I think you only play a year there, correct? Just one
I
year
played
at
I played 2 years, but
two
it
years
got
at J
cut
Sarah.
because of COVID.
Right,
Or
right.
two years at SM, COVID happened, and then yeah, a year and a half at J Sarah.
Year and a half. So in your year and a half at J Sarah, you break the single season record for homers your senior year. It was Royce Lewis's record, and
I
he
think it was
was the
hits. It
number
was hits.
or
Hits.
hits, excuse
Yeah,
me.
yeah,
But
yeah.
it was Royce Lewis's record, and he was the number one pick in
Yeah.
2017. So I'm just curious, when it happened, did you know it happened? Were you aware of it happening, and what does it mean to you today?
Yeah. I mean it's pretty wild because I mean Royce can really swing the bat. I mean, he's an unreal player. And I didn't really have much thought about it during the season. I mean, I was just kind of doing my thing and I mean I felt really good. I was probably averaging like 2 hits a game. So I was just kind of on a roller and I wasn't really like worried about anything. I was just kind of out there competing and I mean got to win CIF back-to-back years at J Sarah. And it was with a fun group of guys. So I mean, yeah, but I mean, and then I broke in. I was like, damn, I just broke Royce Lewis's hit record at J Sarah. So that was that was a pretty sweet accomplishment.
Not a small school. J Sarah's had a ton of talent come through it. You are on top of the mountain for most hits. That's pretty cool. Um, as you reflect back on that senior year, you were obviously a pretty prominent draft prospect that year. A lot of publications, myself included, had you as a potential top 50 pick. As you reflect on that draft and the numbers being thrown at you and the opportunities being thrown at you, what was that experience like? Just going through potentially going pro or going to Corvallis as an 18-year-old?
Yeah. I mean, I felt like my standards were pretty high for the draft just because, I mean, the year I had and the player I became in high school, um, I was setting it pretty high. I mean, I wanted to go day one. I was like, all right, I'm a day one type of guy. And if I don't get that, I'm going to just go to school and keep doing my thing. And that's kind of what happened. I didn't really get nothing really happened day one. Day two happened, got an offer, and I was like, my mom was sitting in the bed with me. It was like early in the morning, third round. She's like, no, you're worth more. And I'm like, all right, like, let's just go to school. Let's do it. And I wouldn't change it for anything. I mean, I've learned so much going to Oregon State. I mean, I'm from Southern California. never lived in a really colder weather environment. Like so many new relationships here, just in a different brand of baseball too. I don't think many people realize what we have going on here at Oregon State, just from a competitive and just culture level. I think it's second to none. I don't think anyone really can do it like we do it. So yeah.
I mean, you've been there for the 2024 number one pick, Travis Mazzana. You got Iva Arquette there. Obviously,
Mhm.
yourself, Gavin Turley is in there. Dallas Macias is in there. Wilson Weber and Jacob Craig are establishing themselves as bangers. Is there a guy in that group that you can walk away from it saying, man, I learned a lot from that guy. And that's something that, this is something that's going to take me a long ways in my professional career.
Yeah, I mean, I'd probably say Travis, especially when I got hurt last year, because I mean, it was kind of hard to watch him when I was just playing all the time. I didn't really realize what he was doing because I was just so focused on what I was doing.
Hmm.
But I really got to take like a step back when I got hurt and just watch like how he went about his at bats and like what he was thinking, what he was trying to do. And I feel like that made the cape that I had so much better because I've always had the hit tool. I've always had the hands. Like I've always been able to hit pretty much anything in the zone, but it's always just been being more selective in the zone. Um, and I think, yeah, just watching Travis and then going into the Cape really changed me as a player. So,
I love that. What goals you got for this year? Obviously, Oregon State, Omaha, putting the trophy over your head, but you personally, is there anything that you're looking to specifically achieve as a guy that is looking to play 55, 60 games for the first time in his collegiate career?
yeah, I'm not really like a big goal orientation guy when it comes to season, you know? I mean, I feel like if I compete and I do my thing and we win, like I'm probably gonna put up some good numbers. And I was like that even at J Sarah too. It wasn't like I'm trying to beat Royce's hit record. I'm just gonna take it day by day and keep trusting what I do and just let it happen. That's kind of the way I go about a lot of things in life. So, um, yeah, not really worried about anything. Just letting things happen, letting my actions play out. So,
Okay. Last question. I hit you with a couple out of left field. You say you're a big field guy, and you can kind of see that in the way that you attack the ball in the box. But I'm curious, do you get wrapped up at all in data, in batted ball data, in exit velos? The reason that I think it's most pertinent here is you were around Travis, who is just so in the weeds, in a good way. I'm just curious if any of that carried over to you, or if you like to integrate that into your training.
yeah, I would say me and Travis aren't really similar in those ways. So I'd say like I use data to validate stuff,
Mm.
like just certain swings, certain like what pitch I'm swinging at, stuff like that. But I'm not like Travis can think about 100 things before an at bat and then get in the box and translate all those 100 things. I'm very like a surface level type of guy. I get in the box, I'm like, all right, like I look at the pitcher and I'm like, all right, let's go. I'm like throw that thing in the zone and I'm probably gonna bang it. So
Yeah. I love that, dude. All right. So I hit you with three more questions here, get you out of here. Let's say you play for 20 years. Uh, what's the one song that you're comfortable keeping for the next 2 decades as your walk-up music? Can't change it.
that's tough. I have speakers in my room. I listen to music all the time. Like just try and find the best songs. So there's so many songs I like. Right now I'm rocking Oxygen by Dirty Heads. It's like a reggae type of song.
Hmm.
Um, I don't know. I think I'm gonna change it. So I think I'd probably say like Superstition by Stevie Wonder.
Mm. I get the feeling you and Iva get along pretty well.
Yeah, we do.
Yeah,
Yeah,
similar taste in music.
yeah.
All right. So let's say you take the entire Oregon State roster out to dinner. Nice steakhouse. I mean, nicest place you can find in Oregon. Um, Who's the one guy on the roster right now that you would not let order food for the entire table?
I'd probably say Jacob Craig.
Really? Jacob Craig looks like a steak eater.
Wait. What was the question you were trying to ask? Wait, I'm
So
confused.
who's the one guy that you wouldn't trust to order food for the whole table? Maybe it's a guy that only dips on chicken nuggets, or he's a guy that just smashes PB&Js. Just not an
Yeah.
exploratory eater type of thing like that.
Hmm.
I was gonna say Jacob Craig at a steakhouse looks like he could put
Yeah.
down a steak.
No, yeah, yeah, he can put it down for sure. Um, hmm. I mean, it's probably got to be a pitcher.
Yeah, probably a PO.
Um, Man, that's tough. There's so many dudes on the team who know how to eat.
It's got to be a freshman, right? And it can't be the kid from Idaho.
Yeah, it can't be Dax, no.
No, you know that he's corn-fed.
Yeah, he gets it. Probably say Leif.
Leif
Leif
Palmer.
Palmer. Yeah.
Okay,
Pretty.
so what's he gonna order?
I don't know. I've never really been around him, but it just doesn't seem like he eats a whole lot of. He's kind of skinny, so
Okay, that's where you draw the line. All right, all right,
yeah, 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 yeah.
all right. Maybe an easier question for the Oregon State team, the community. Who's the one guy on the team that you would not let date your sister?
Um, Probably Gavin Turley.
Gavin, huh?
Yeah.
Okay, well, we'll leave it at that. We'll leave it at that. Trent Caraway. I've been looking forward to this for a couple of years. It didn't disappoint. Good luck the rest of the way. Stay healthy and keep banging, dude.
Thank you. I appreciate it, Joe. Thanks for having me on.
Yeah.